At WrestleMania 38, Roman Reigns experienced a very sad moment. When Roman Reigns made his way down to the ring, as he prepared to take on the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar, Roman seemed very somber and very sad. And as he stepped into the ring, he actually had to wipe a tear away from his eye. And many fans noticed this and wondered, why is the head of the table, Roman Reigns, so upset? What exactly is going on? It turns out that Roman Reigns was going through a very emotional moment as he stepped into that ring and grabbed the microphone and saw the 70,000 plus in attendance. It was at that moment that Roman says he began to get overwhelmed with emotion. This is because of the serious health issues that he has experienced in his life. Of course, there was a time when he had to step away from wrestling as he battled a reoccurrence of leukemia. And obviously his football career was cut short when he had leukemia. And he couldn't believe as he stepped into that ring and saw 70,000 plus fans all surrounding him. And he couldn't believe that he actually made it, that he survived. Because there was a time when his health was so bad off, he didn't know if he was going to make it. And at WrestleMania 38, as he prepared to battle the WWE Champion, Brock Lesnar, and he stood in the middle of that ring, he couldn't help but begin to cry because he didn't think he was going to make it. But luckily, thanks to catching his illness early and the enhancements in the medical industry for treating leukemia, Roman survived. And at that moment at WrestleMania 38, he was just so thankful that he was around to experience this awesome moment with thousands in attendance, millions watching him, and he couldn't help but start crying. And he also knew that he was going to defeat Brock Lesnar because Vince McMahon told him, I want you to pin Brock Lesnar about 15 minutes into the match, and you're going to become the double champion. And Roman just was unable to hold back his emotion. He now says that that emotion that people saw on live TV at WrestleMania 38 was not supposed to happen. He was supposed to come out as the villain who never shows his emotion, never shows he's scared, never shows he's upset or sad, and his current heel character is definitely not supposed to cry. But he did indeed cry in the middle of that ring. It was a very sad and emotional moment that Roman Reigns experienced at WrestleMania 38 as he broke character and showed the world that he's not the tough, mean heel that everybody thinks he is, as he revealed that he is actually one of the most caring, sensitive, and emotional people in all of wrestling. One of the saddest moments in WWE history took place at WrestleMania 38. Vince McMahon inducted The Undertaker into the WWE Hall of Fame. And it was during this induction when things got very sad, and it was all unscripted. During Vince McMahon's induction speech, he noted that The Undertaker wasn't just an employee of WWE, but he was actually one of Vince McMahon's closest friends. And as The Undertaker made his way to the podium to give his acceptance speech, Vince McMahon and The Undertaker shared an emotional moment where the two hugged in the middle of the ring as The Undertaker wrapped his arms tightly around Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon was unable to control his emotions as he held The Undertaker in his arms. It was during this emotional embrace where Vince McMahon and The Undertaker both were overcome with strong emotions, and Vince McMahon actually had to console The Undertaker as he patted him on the back to make The Undertaker stop crying, because Vince McMahon could hear the intense crying that The Undertaker was doing as Vince and him hugged in the middle of the ring. The two shared this hug for about 15 seconds, and then as the two separated, Vince McMahon was obviously overcome with emotion, and some say that he was even crying as he had to leave the ringside area and go backstage because Vince McMahon didn't want to be spotted crying. And according to reports, once Vince got backstage, he was unable to control his emotions and he cried his eyes out because he just inducted his great friend The Undertaker into the Hall of Fame. And also, Vince McMahon knew the huge plot twist at the end of The Undertaker's speech was going to be that he was going to tease a comeback to wrestling, as The Undertaker said to the crowd after he put on his infamous Undertaker coat and hat. The Undertaker said, "Never say never," and the crowd erupted. And Vince McMahon knew what a powerful moment that was going to be at the end of The Undertaker's speech, that The Undertaker might actually come back to wrestling. And Vince McMahon knew this as he was inducting The Undertaker and as he hugged The Undertaker. He knew that not only was I inducting my friend The Undertaker, but Vince also knew The Undertaker was going to basically make an announcement that he might come back and wrestle more matches. And all of this was too much for Vince McMahon and The Undertaker to handle, and they broke down in each other's arms, and they shared one of the saddest moments in WrestleMania history during WrestleMania weekend. What do you think was the saddest moment at WrestleMania 38? Was it Roman Reigns breaking down prior to his match with Brock Lesnar? Was it Vince McMahon and The Undertaker's emotional hug? Or was it something else? Leave a comment below and give me your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification so you are notified when we upload a new video.